not lining up. We were told this was going to be a short operation. Precision strikes, limited engagement, no escalation. We heard it initially, it'd be 4 days, 3 or 4 days. Turned into 6, turned into 2 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. And now they're planning for 2 months. Boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Right? Every signal that's coming out right now says the complete opposite of the BS we were fed at the beginning. This isn't winding down, this is building up. And it's just like every time we've gotten in some kind of conflict, the same thing happens. Now, strip out emotion, talk about this. You have reports and imagery showing the US E-3 Sentry AWACS aircraft has been destroyed. $270 million E-3. What? Oh, come on, go.
Are you kidding me? An ad right now?
Install it now.
You dirty sons of bitches.
Oh, we're waiting. What happened? Look at this thing. $270 million. How many of these $270 million planes have been blown up that we're not hearing about? That's what I want to know. But that AWACS is not just a plane. That is an airborne command and control. That platform tracks threats across hundreds of miles, coordinates fighters and intercepts. Basically acts as a flying battlefield command center. You lose that, man, you lose visibility, you lose coordination, you lose time. And that is not just a public relation problem, because it is that too. It is that. You don't just lose $270 million to Iran, okay? It's also a tactical problem. Now stack on top of that, refueling aircraft has been damaged, okay? Now how much those cost, I don't know. We know of at least one, possibly multiple, and that matters way more than people realize. It's obviously an intelligent move. If you're gonna bomb some planes, bomb the refuelers.
Oh,
because
this one's too big,
air power does not exist without fuel. Those tankers extend fighter range, sustain bombing operations, basically keep that aircraft in flight. You start losing tankers, you start shrinking your operational reach. Now you're not just fighting the enemy, you're fighting your own logistics, your own logistical capability. Now, add on top of all that, you got wounded numbers coming out. The first time we've heard that this weekend, over 300 reported in some cases. Wow. Thought it was like 20. A lot of those being traumatic brain injuries from blast pressure. And that tells you something very specific. These bases are taking concussive impacts, missiles, drones, indirect fire. That is real contact. Something that hadn't really told us about. Another, right? Kind of keep it quiet. But where things get interesting is that the public narrative has been minimal damage, contained. Everything's under control. We know exactly what we're doing. The operational reality, aircraft destroyed, airfields hit, personnel wounded, infrastructure degraded. That's a gap right there, and it's intentional, because modern war isn't just fought with weapons. It's fought with information management or information control. You don't want one of the American people hearing that you're getting your behind whipped. Secondly, you don't want the rest of the world to hear that. America's strength and the value of the dollar comes a lot because of our military strength. You start saying, hey man, Iran's giving them boys hell over there. That doesn't sound too good, does it? Doesn't sound too good. Now, again, they're stating, guys, that bases are just hitting right and left. So, 17 U.S. sites damaged in war in Iran. Okay, this was from March 11th. But this weekend, they're stating almost every, and this isn't confirmed, exactly, but they're saying almost every military base out there or outpost is destroyed, gone. We have none in that region anymore, is what they're saying. So billions upon millions of dollars. They supposedly evacuated everybody. Where are all these people getting injured from as well? What the hell is going on over there? What is going on? I thought we were dominating, winning. Let's talk about what matters the most, though, movement. Because wars define my movement, and right now, movement says everything. You've got Marine Expeditionary Unit at theater. They just arrived. This is AAA, and the 82nd Airborne preparing for deployment. Apparently, the Special Operations Forces are planning raids. Ground operations are being discussed. This is not stabilization, not de-escalation like you've been, it's going to wrap up. Last week you were saying it's going to wrap up in a few days. We've got now a phase transition, going from strike phase to ground engagement phase. They're saying now that this 4-day airstrike is turning into 2-month ground troop deployment. Yeah. They're mapping it out as we speak. Wow. Things are changing, quite honestly. The other thing is that this should alarm you. But apparently, Channel 12 reports that if the U.S. launches a ground operation in Iran, Israeli troops will not take part in combat. What? So the IDF will not be involved. Only U.S. soldiers.
People on Depop really want your style. Sell your clothes and make even more money with your selling things. Download now.
No.
You really can't make this up anymore. It's crazy. We know that Lindsey Graham went over there to talk Trump into getting involved with Israel striking Iran. He pretty much not only get involved, but now we're the main ones. They're kind of pulling back, and they were doing peace talks, and then Israel starts hitting major sites, steel factories, and so on, parallel universities, and now complete escalation. But they're not going to take part in the ground combat. Yeah. That's about on brand for them. Now, the sad reality, guys, is I want you to take a step back. Take a step back and listen to what I'm saying. You've seen this before. Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. It always starts the same way. Limited action. No long-term involvement. Nah, guys, just a quick operation. Then, more troops, more times, and more objectives have been heard. Last week, now the objectives apparently changed.
Alright, I'm gonna rethink the strategy here.
I thought it's weird because the whole thing we took it back out in July. They didn't have new quotas, but apparently they were able to build everything back up and be within 2 weeks again. Since 1990, they've been 2 weeks away from having a nuclear bomb. So apparently that was it. But then it changed to, oh man, we want to free the Iranian people. They're oppressed. They're oppressed. That matters. That matters more than that farmer in Idaho struggling to pay his overhead. That matters. That matters more than those homeless vets. Some small town in America. We should really spend billions of dollars to free the Iranians. Vietnam, Iraq, again. We've seen this movie before. More troops, more time, more objectives. Until you're fully committed. And not because you plan to be. I don't think they plan to be. I think it's just kind of get kicked a little harder than you thought. Now you just slid into it. Now, also, this weekend, you get this message from a Marine General, Mark IV Res, Marine Forces Reserve. Get your gear ready, Leathernecks. Be prepared to deploy there, Devil Dogs. Have your life in order. Let your kids know you may not be coming home. Have your patch sitting by the door Get your desert mark pass washed. I don't need that for Christmas. He's not saying that. The Christmas party, I'm smoking trash. Guys, when you that is not a motivational speech, okay? That is not Jocko Lee Post. That is a readiness order. That means units are being positioned for potential rapid mobilization in the Marine Forces Reserves. Holy cow. So we're talking not just active duty. The reservists better get ready. So National Guardsmen out there, maybe get your gear together too. Wow. Oh, man. Things are escalating quick. This 4-day war, or, I don't know, military airstrikes, is turning into something else. Now, I talked about this last week. You got conflicting statements about the USS Gerald Ford. One side says minor issue, fire in the laundry room. I said this the other day. I thought that was a lie. Because it's out for 2 years. You mean a laundry room fire put this aircraft carrier out of commission for 2 years? Trump said, Iran hit that Gerald Ford. It was under threat. Listen to him.
We knew there was a problem when we noticed at 1 o'clock in the morning, every 32 seconds, another airplane, a very fast plane, was coming off the deck of an aircraft carrier. That's actually the biggest aircraft carrier in the world. And every 32 seconds, boom, boom, boom. And it was 1 o'clock in the morning, so we said, okay, I think we're in trouble. But they were ready for us, Johnny. And we said we were ready, and then they hit us. And they came from 17 different angles. They were here, they were there.
17 different goddamn
Wow.
Wasn't the advertisement?
That's that money spent in the commercial business. The population will surge again, and my power will soar. Now available.
That's great. Don't care.
Shot combines strategy, exploration, resource management, PvP and PvE battles, plus a whole lot more. I suggest
Airstrike groups for power protection. It matters. They're taking fire, that can't take power protection. The other thing is that putting it out of commission for performance. Do you really need the longer requirement? I don't believe that. Yes. Right? So now you gotta ask the question. The real question. Is this control? Or is it reaction? Because there's a difference. Control means you dictate tempo. Reaction means the enemy dictates tempo. And right now, it looks like the tempo is accelerating quite fast. Really. Then we have domestic distractions back home here in the States. You're being fed solutions that aren't really solutions. E15 gas, fixed prices. Trump moves to lower gas prices by filling your tanks with E15. If you don't know what that is, it burns faster, it reduces efficiency, doesn't solve the supply, it is 15% ethanol, it will F your engine up. But for optics, yeah, gas, but we're going to lower gas prices a little bit. It may lower 5%, 10%, but it's going to burn twice as fast and extra vehicle. That's not strategy, that's just optics. That is another one of these things where I'm saying they are trying to gaslight us. Now, listen to this. Venezuela, they said, oh man, we're going to fix the problem with Venezuela. The oil. They forgot to tell you it's going to take 10 years to do it. And then as they're talking about it, let's see what the most important thing that comes out of it.
refineries on the Gulf Coast, lowering the price of gas in America. So it's
You get that. And right before that, I actually cut a recording. He he says it's going to take 10 years, but
To America, lowering the price of gas in America. So it's
Forget that. When are they going to do the statue?
build a statue on him down there. That's what he's worried about. Crazy. It's not even time to joke, man. People are pissed off about this guy. Now, we've heard the narrative of boots on the ground. Let's bring up Charlie Kirk. The thing is really cool. Maybe I'm just being sentimental. I don't know. I just like a lot in America changed after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Taken out. Really. And you know, say to me, show me in the comments, please. I just feel like was that Charlie that big a gorilla in their back? Maybe he was. Maybe he had that much power. And he was shaping the narrative. He was calling out Lindsey Graham. He was calling out Iran. Iran. And we see where we're at. Now CPUSA is saying that Charlie would have done this. Charlie posted this after the B-2 bombers. Okay? No nukes for Iran, no troops on the ground, no U.S. troops dead, no regime change, no nation doing, no war. President Trump was historic masterclass one. Damn. Compare that to the reality of now. Okay? Troops are going to be on the ground. Troops have already died. They're calling for regime change. And obviously war. Damn. Troops are moving. Ground ops plan assets are dead. Timeline expanding. Troops are dead. So again, what changed? It's weird, right? Look, you don't need to speculate. You don't need a grand conspiracy. All you got to do is watch the pattern. When movement increases, timelines expand, messaging tightens. Means one thing. Things are escalating, whether they admit it or not. They're not going to tell us the truth. We're going to hear the cultivated narrative they want you to. So I'll ask you this one question. Do you think this is under control? Or do we want you in early stages? Or something much bigger?
Alright, let me save that for somebody else to break loose. Piece of the truck. Oh!
Guys, before I jump on, one of my favorite brands other than Black Scout Survival is Under Armour. I love it, man. I love it.
Whoever tightened that thing up, use some damn gorilla strength.
Hard to kill training, sure.
I ain't got it right now. It's too early. Alright. Let's go ahead and set y'all up. Grease this drive shaft. And watch the suspension. Hope everybody's having a good week. Happy Monday.
With his emails being hacked by Iran pretty huge story. I mean, everybody's talking about it in the media space, and you may have been watching that, and all of a sudden that video evaporated from thin air, and I was given a community guideline strike for nudity, which is a little bizarre, as anybody who would have watched that video would have seen. There was zero of that in there, and also I've been through the guidelines on this, and literally nothing in the video violated any guidelines whatsoever, and it begs the question, why would that story, of all stories, all of a sudden be getting censored and removed from social media? I'm not sure exactly yet, because this is super bizarre. You see, in about 2.5 years of me being on this platform, I have never had a single strike, violation, warning, or anything, and yet somehow when I do a comedy video, literally all comedy, making fun of the FBI director, because yeah, it's a pretty funny situation he's in right now, as we all know, that video somehow gets leaked for a reason that wasn't even in the video. So the question is, what's going on? Is this something that maybe was not in tandem with the social media platform? Is this just massive playing through bots because the current administration does not want America first in talking about anything because MAGA is having such a massive issue politically right now? I don't know. But what I do know is, again, I have never had anything like that happen on that channel, and I've covered content on just about every story that there is in the last 2.5 years. And again, just this specific one with the FBI director that this happens to be interesting. Now, you guys know my content. It's actually very, very mild. If you notice, I censor and keep out any bad words, any curse words. I never show anything violent or sexually related or anything on my channel, ever. Which is, again, why I've never, ever been flagged for anything before, again, until the moment of making fun of Cash Patel. So I don't know for sure what's going on here, but I think it's starting to make a lot of sense. We've also seen a lot of paid smear campaigns that have gone out against Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Joe Kent, especially. It just kind of feels like we're entering an era to where those of us who are strictly you have to ban people and censor. It feels very, very 2021, doesn't it? As we move back into this Gestapo-style environment on social media that we all knew was obviously coming. I mean, anybody who's advocating and vocally being very against the war in Iran is being targeted. We've seen that with Joe Kent and Tucker Carlson recently, viscerally. Anybody who's the audacity to question what our greatest ally is doing.
That was a lot of grease, almost got me, dude.
And so probably very aware of this as citizens of what's actually happening around us. Because again, we went down these paths before. For those who don't know, if you look back on what social media was like for conservatives in 2020 and 2021, advisory council. Wow. So who all is part of this? Yes, the executives are part of a 13-person panel appointed by Trump to serve as the president's council of advisors on science and technology. Among other issues, the body is expected to have influence over the administration's AI policies. The panel will be co-chaired by White House AI Director David Sachs and Office Science and Technology Policy Head Michael Gracios. Ellison is part of the consortium of U.S.-based investors who generally each acquired a 15% stake in TikTok, an operation that has a history of support for government. Zuckerberg says that the United States has the opportunity to use AI and is honored to join the President's Council to work with the industry leaders to help make this happen. Yes, the entire tech world and all of social media have now joined hands with the current administration, so I wonder what type of stuff we're going to see going forward. Probably a lot more of this, if I have to guess. Because if you're not free to do comedy sketches and bits about politicians, then we're not really in America anymore, are we? You know, non-elected officials like Cash Patel making huge, huge mistakes, and obviously things we're learning about, you know, what he's just involved in with his personal emails. Yeah, you're not allowed to criticize that. So, again, if you want to support the channel, because who knows how long any of us are going to be around for, the Tuckers and Ian Carrolls, Candace's and me, how long we're going to be around for, who knows, because again, the massive crackdown is obviously coming. Again, also guys, if you want to support the channel, make sure you do it on Patreon, because again, we don't know how long this America First thing is going to be allowed on the internet. All the Tuckers and Ian Carrolls and Dave Smiths and Nates, we might find our way going the way of the dinosaur, because you're not allowed to have your own opinions up here. So, just wanted to give you guys an update on that, because I know tons of you had already been watching the video and were a little shocked, and everybody's reaching out, messaging me, going, what the hell happened? That video was completely fine, and yes, but here's your explanation to what's going on. So, that's going to do it for this one. Catch you on the next one. We'll talk about it more on the live stream on Tuesday at 5. Or maybe we'll have one a little bit sooner. We'll talk about it. Alright guys, catch you on the next video.
Pokemon Go. Install and go.
On the group chat with Adele. Did a TurboTax expertly
earlier than I wanted to.
As an excuse to close off the religious. Is Israel blocking Catholics, Christians, and Muslims from their holiest sites in Jerusalem to protect their safety? Is there something far darker in it? Perhaps a controlled demolition designed to erase centuries of shared history in order to clear the ground for a radical rewrite of the Holy Land? It was reported this morning that Israeli police officers prevented two senior Roman Catholic leaders in Jerusalem from entering the Church of the Holy Sepulchre on Palm Sunday. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, considered to be the third holiest site in Islam, which we'll talk about more in a second, has been closed since February, and they say that it's going to be closed up until at least mid-April, according to this report. They had to close off these holy sites due to the war with Iran. Italian Prime Minister Meloni calling this move an offense to religious freedom. Right, they are using the war, mind you, that they started as an excuse to close off the religious sites of Christians and Muslims. Now, interestingly, the Western Wall, which is a holy site for Jews, they say it is mostly closed because of safety issues, but they're letting people in 50 at a time to pray in an enclosed area adjacent to the plaza. It's small, but there's a little bit of a subtle difference here because with the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Al-Aqsa, those sites are not just closed to the public, but they're also banning and preventing the religious leaders, such as cardinals and
I'm literally covered in grease.
Whereas in the case of the Western Wall, there is supposed to be some limited public access. Now, Israelis claim no malintent.
Get on Depop and save on your favorite brands.
No.
Find great deals on different.
But some are saying otherwise.
The basic component are one is the creation of the state, the nation state of Israel, which happened in 48. And then you need to have the building of the third temple, which requires the destruction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is actually what happened during this war. Given what we've seen so far, so the Israelis have closed off the Al-Aqsa Mosque, as well as other religious sites like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, to tourists these past 2 days. There's rumors that for the past 2 years, the Israelis have been conducting these underwater digs under the Al-Aqsa Mosque to basically destroy the foundation of the mosque, so that they can conduct a controlled demolition of the mosque and blame it on the missile strike from the Iranians. And there's actually talk among Israelis of using this threat to ignite a war between the Arabs and the Persians. So yeah, Al-Aqsa Mosque needs to be destroyed for the third time now.
So a couple things going on here, which is one, the belief by some Jewish and Christian evangelical fundamentalists that the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Yeah. On my face, man.
The exact site
On
where
my
the first and
face.
second Jewish temples once stood, and where they believe the third temple must be built in order to usher in the return of Jesus. And the second thing is the disturbing claim Professor Jang makes that these actions could already be underway. Which, full disclosure, they tell us that the notion that the Al-Aqsa Mosque might be in danger is actually one of the most dangerous lies to emerge from within Palestinian society, and that it is considered anti-Semitic libel. Now, that sounds pretty serious, so I'm sure no Israeli leader, certainly no religious rabbi, would ever suggest such a horrific and disturbing idea, right?
I don't know. Maybe one of the missiles will hit the mosque and clear the place for the third Mikdash.
For the third temple, yes.
If it was up to me, at that time when they shot hundreds of missiles, I would pretend that one missile came from Iran and two from Iran. and there will be the end of the problems. You let them fight with each other, these bunch of lunatics.
Wow. I guess I stand corrected. So, I think it's reasonable for us to say, well, maybe there is something going on here. And with that, let's take a look at some of the covers to see if there's any truth to this quote-unquote anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
The Al-Aqsa Mosque, Islam's third holiest site, has long been at the heart of tension in Jerusalem. In 1967, the area's Islamic and Christian holy sites have remained under Jordanian custodianship. But over the years, Israeli archaeological digs, especially beneath and around Al-Aqsa, have intensified. Tensions are already high. Ultra-nationalist extremist Zionists, among them National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, frequently storm the compound under heavy police protection. Even Palestinian fears that Israel is changing the status quo and tunnel by tunnel.
I am way too greasy to be dealing with these phones. Clean y'all up, so let me clean y'all up. They really screwed up because they just parked this thing and dumped it. It's been sitting for like a month.
History. So they began to erase, obliterate, and destroy the historical and cultural heritage of the area surrounding the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is because all the existing artifacts are either Arab, Canaanite, Islamic, Byzantine, or even Roman.
Palestinian experts say the excavations are less about history and more about politics, aimed at erasing Jerusalem's Arab and Islamic identity and creating new facts on the ground.
The first objective is the destruction of the historical civilization of Jerusalem, which dates back 7,000 years, and which the occupation is destroying with bulldozers. The second objective is a political one, where the issue is used to garner votes. And the third objective is control, establishing complete control of the blessed Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Amro says that digging has intensified since the start of Israel's assault on Gaza, with little oversight or accountability.
It was observed during the war period that these excavations proceeded at double speed with an unprecedented increase in arrogance and destruction. During the past 2 years of the war, heavy machinery was used and all these historical and archaeological finds were smuggled, stolen and transported to unknown destinations.
We cannot afford a single mistake. Seriously, King Shot is all about using strategy to rule like a true king. Build up your defenses and protect your town. And the best part? No annoying ads. It's got 20 million players per week. Join the squad. Download King Shot today.
Risk of death, 99%. Are you sure you still want to take the injection?
99%? Doesn't sound like good odds.
Palestinians say Israel's actions are slowly changing the reality on the ground, and that the growing pressure beneath the Al-Aqsa compound could soon erupt.
So to sum that up, essentially what the conspiracy theorists are saying, the quote-unquote conspiracy theorists are saying, is that Israel has been doing these archaeological excavations underneath the Al-Aqsa Mosque, sort of using that as a pretense to maybe structurally weaken the mosque itself. Now, is that true? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not an archaeologist nor an engineer, so I don't really know what's going on underneath the ground. But above ground,
I still gotta get the oil filter off. I already changed the fuel filters. I already changed the air filter. Gotta fill up the oil. That damn oil filter is on there good.
These two are done. I need to grease the front end of the suspension. Yeah, we'll do that.
These historical and archaeological finds were smuggled, stolen, and transported to unknown destinations.
Palestinians say Israel's actions are slowly changing the reality on the ground, and that the growing pressure beneath the Al-Aqsa compound could soon erupt above it.
So to sum that up, essentially what the conspiracy theorists are saying, the quote-unquote conspiracy theorists are saying, is that Israel has been doing these archaeological excavations underneath the Al-Aqsa Mosque, sort of using that as a pretense to maybe structurally weaken the mosque itself. Now, is that true? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not an archaeologist nor an engineer, so I don't really know what's going on underneath the ground. But above ground, I can certainly use my eyes and see that these people are trying to sow maximum chaos. They want people to hate each other. They want people to fight. They want violence. I mean, look at this video. This is from a number of years ago of Israelis throwing stones and shattering windows in a prayer hall within Al-Aqsa, within the complex of Al-Aqsa Mosque. So this definitely didn't start just on October 7th, this violence. In fact, it goes back decades and decades to 1967. This is right after, I believe, the Six-Day War. Israel occupies East Jerusalem. They seize control of the mosque. And there are reports that the tunnel works began soon after. There's an arson attack in 1969 where Zionists burned a historic minibar. The mosque is severely damaged. There's more excavations in the 70s. And there's a plot Jewish underground plans to demolish Al-Aqsa and build a temple. In 1996, and that was open west of the wall. Tunnel only Palestinians building protests. In 2000, there were repeated skirmishes and raids and closures. A lot of people injured, a lot of people died. And then in the past couple of years, 2024, 2025, engineers are now warning that the tunnel has caused major visible cracks that can be on the walls and structure potentially collapse. So right now, we're at a very dangerous inflection point where basically anything can happen. We could go a number of different directions, essentially Israel. And if we're going to see this has become a state with no checks, no balances, they act with complete impunity. Like, I don't know how you say anti-Semitic bloodline to claim that Israel could do something like destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque when they literally destroyed every single mosque in Gaza. Okay, maybe 80 or 90% of the churches there are gone. And if you're a journalist on the ground in the region doing coverage critical of Israel, that's a one-on-one story.
You probably gonna get blown up, yeah, you gonna get blown up, cause Israel kills Germany.
Hundreds of journalists who have been killed by Israel. This is Fatima Fatuni and Alan Gio. They were killed in an Israeli airstrike on Saturday, accused of being terrorists, quote-unquote. And Israel's proof? Absolutely nothing. 3 Lebanese journalists were killed, including Ali Shuaib, who was the Hezbollah affiliated Al-Noor television network. The idea of accused Shuaib operating as a member of Hezbollah's Rockall forces and included a photo of him wearing a military uniform. risk, and as we just saw, it's your life. For me, hopefully it's not that. Probably more my livelihood at stake, because, with every video that I distribute about these kinds of topics comes a massive risk of my channel being deleted. But to me, I think it is worth it, because if we don't speak up now, I think we may never be able to speak up again. That is it for me today. Let me know what your thoughts are. Specifically, what do you think Israel is really capable of? Okay? Sound off in the comment section below. If you want to support my work,
dripping sweat. Dripping sweat. Do my good boy work. My good boy. Shit's dirty today, boy.
Greasy McGreaser says, I'll get those 2 suspension weeks. Nope, I got a grease that.
Can't get that oil filter to break loose if you get a minute. What? I can't get that oil filter to break loose if you get a minute. I got my 2 wrenches are like just in between. It's like right in the middle, and I got one wedged going there right now. A red one, so all the way to the bottom of it. It's barely hot. The big one's too big and small one's too small. I got the small one.
You go in my big blue box and grab that orange handled pair of filter pliers.
Yep.
Greasy day indeed.
That thing is right the fucking way. We better come out of back. Can you get your hand down here from up top?
Yeah. Try.
No, up, get back. Can you go on the other side of
Let me get in there. We're going towards the block, right?
Huh?
We gotta go towards the block.
Nope. That's why a strap wrench is so much better than that fucking shit.
I've got the strap wrenches. They're just,
You got a strap wrench?
they don't fit. Like the small one won't go. The big one's too big unless you.
So like cloth strap wrench?
Oh no. Oh, I do have that rubber one.
Let me see it.
Might be able to wrap it around and use it from the other side. Use it from the outside here. They're too bulky. Yep, you got it. Moved. Oh, it's moving. It spun. Might have to reset. What's going on, Tom? It definitely spun. Let me give it a go a little bit.
What's up?
Oh, there you go.
Where my orange hand pliers at?
Spent a little bit.
Huh?
It spun a little bit. There you go. What's up, Doug? Headphones. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, dude?
I'm gonna go, y'all. Y'all be good.